What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you all 5 tips on how to get the most out of your Morphe 35I Icy Fantasy Palette. If that sounds interesting, keep on watching. So jumping right into our first tip, we're going to be using a colored eyeshadow base. So something we already know about this palette and kind of in general is using eyeshadows on a white eyeshadow base will help the colors turn up more pigmented, especially on deeper skin tones. So where the trick comes in for this palette is that it is very pigmented pastel wise, but I feel like a lot of us would definitely like to get some more color out of it. So using an eyeshadow base that has color already in it and just layering the eyeshadows over top is going to help the shadows be way more pigmented than just using a white base. You can definitely go out and purchase an eyeshadow base, but I actually made my own and I will be making a tutorial on how I actually did that in an upcoming video. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of whenever I upload that video. The shape you lay your eyeshadow base down in is basically going to be the overall shape of your look. So I'm placing the yellow, pink, and blue in the exact order I want it to be in and in the shape I want the finished look to be in. And then I'm blending it out with a sponge because I want it to be a very soft and blended look. I also want to mention that the colors I chose for my eyeshadow base are actually very similar to colors that are inside of the palette. As you can see, the colors I'm using as my base are very pastel and match the theme of the 35I palette. Also, if you've seen the palette before, you probably can think of a few shades that actually match with these colors. Now jumping into the palette, we're going to be taking eyeshadow and placing it in packing motions. I used the shades Wishful, Secret Escape, and Into the Blue, respectively. I also used the shade Dreamer to create a transition from the pink into the blue. The colors in this palette take quite a bit of time to build up good pigmentation, so just take your time and pack those shades. I also am using the Wet n Wild small eyeshadow brush to pack the color. I am using a brush to apply the shadows here, and that is because the Wet n Wild brush actually works really well for me for packing the color. That is why I mentioned it earlier, but I do actually have another tip for applying some of the mattes that may be a bit more stubborn or have a tendency to blend away, so definitely keep on watching and I will get into that tip. So a lot of the shades in this palette have a tendency to blend away, so what I do is take a lot of the shade that has the most tendency to blend away out of the two shades that I'm blending and put it on my blending brush, and then I blend the shades together. Okay, so after I'm done blending, I noticed that my pink shade just didn't have the amount of pigment that it did have when I first applied it, and that's because it blended away a bit. So I actually taking a Q-tip and applying that pink shade. I also showed the example of me applying that same pink shade with a brush, and you can see the pigment difference. So my next tip is using other palettes along the Morphe 35I palette. So I want to brighten up the yellow a bit and also smooth out the transition from the yellow to the pink. So I'm going to grab the shade B and place it over top everywhere where there's yellow to brighten it up. And I'm also going to take the shade Pinkity Drinkity and just soften that transition a bit from the yellow and the pink to make it a bit smoother. So I want to add some dimension to this look while still keeping it very pastel and light. So I'm going to take the shade Cola onto my blending brush and just place it onto my outer corner very lightly. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. If you liked this video and thought it was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to press that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you're following me on Instagram, please leave a red heart on my most recent post to let me know that you watched this video all the way through the end. If you are not following me on Instagram, why aren't you? Come and join the fun. We post makeup looks and sneak peeks. It's at Beautiful Yanni. And if you guys want to see product reviews, check them out on Influenster. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.